an 82 Toyota 4-wheel drive, SR5. Been having issues with it, and let me turn it around, and I thought it was the carburetor. And so I rebuilt the carburetor like 6 times, and that would never fix it. What was happening was some days it would run, no problem. Some days you'd crank it, and it wouldn't, and crank it and crank it and crank it, and it wouldn't crank. And then some days it would crank and run for a little bit and then shut off. So I replaced this coil, the wires, the rotor button, the rotor distributor cap, and and it worked fine for a little bit, but it started acting up again. So I got out of the truck, slammed the door, and the truck cut off. Took where the fuse box is, took this off, pulled all the fuses out, put them all back in. They all look fine, no problem. Well, over here, there's a gray box that sits right here with this wire that plugs into it. Let's see if I can get my hands on it. That's this wire right here. Well, I removed the gray box and I've took it inside, and I'll show you what I found. This is what the box looks like. It's a little gray box, and it's got a metal cover on the back. I've already took the screws out of it. And when you lift this cover, you have your circuit board plug-in that plugs into this thing. If you'll look at it, and lay it here on the table. Okay, so if you look right here, there, and there, the welds are broke. And the only thing I can tell is that where that cable goes in there, and the vibration has cracked the contacts loose. Right here is one, that one, and that one. And what I want to do is I want to heat up the soldering iron, dab it enough to where it'll heat this up and remelt everything so they have a good connection. So let me get busy on that. Let's start with this one here. I need to add a little bit actually. Try not to overheat this thing too much. Let's do this next one here. That did pretty good. Now the one in the middle. Okay. I believe that might have it. Yeah, make sure that's all the way down. And that one's all the way down. Now let's go outside and hook it up and see if the truck will crank and stay running. Well, I got it back in there. Got it plugged in. So I'm gonna hook the battery up. And that's another thing, whenever you're messing with this, I would disconnect the battery before you even touch it, just to be on the safe side. Hook the battery back up, and then we'll give it a try. Okay, so it's been a little while since I've tried cranking it, so it might take a minute. all these years struggling with this thing, trying to figure out what was wrong with it. And I think it was that box the whole time. So if you have any trouble with your Toyota not wanting to idle, when you first crank it, you set the chuck and you hit a rev up and run, and then once it starts to idle down, it starts to and cuts off. Probably that box. I had replaced everything else up there that I could think of, electrical. Save these little trucks. All right. Good luck. I hope it helps.